video, I just tried to make a different opening for each video. So in this video, we're going to do a summary of part 1, or you can say section 1, to help you to have a better understanding of what is going on. So in this section 1, we're really focusing on the social, cultural, and economic context behind the artwork. And then we're trying to have an understanding of art that and its meaning, as we mentioned in the previous presentations, and then where the art is coming from, where the art came from. We will also want to know some art historians and their way of analyzing the analyzing different kinds of art, and then the documents that were written by different artists. Not artists, sorry, the historians. We also want to know the history of Western art. That's a focus. And then we also want to focus on cave paintings in southeastern France. Cave painting, southeastern France, and takes us to contemporary art all over the world. So we start from there. And then I want to learn about some Western cultures, about Mesopotamia. We also want to focus on Egypt and Nubia for their art traditions. And we also want to know the civilizations of Asian Islands, Greece, and Rome. Excuse me. Okay. And I just keep repeating myself, but we want to know some art that has survived from ancient civilizations, and those are made of durable materials. And noticing that there's a tremendous shift occurred in the art of the medieval period, in which the emergence of Christianity as a major religion and the church as a powerful patron of the arts. So church, powerful patron of the arts. Okay, so the church remain they are still like pretty important patrons during the Renaissance and Baroque periods. And at the same time, there was also a rise in secular artworks during these periods. And in the light of the Protestant reformations and general societal and economic shift throughout Europe, so more on like feminisms and environment, etc. And the artwork become more diverse from there. And major innovations of the Renaissance include the use of a linear perspective and then move toward greater neutralisms. Baroque art is generally distinct from Renaissance art because of its greater sense of movement and drama. Rococo style, also a focus, is a type of art that was closely tied to the power of the French aristocracy prior to the Revolution of 1989. The neoclassical movement may in part be seen as a reaction to the Rococo and a response to political and social revolutions. Romanticism, in return, was a reaction to the classicizing tendencies of neoclassical art. Romanticism sought to appeal to the emotions and sense. So, Romanticism's emotions and senses. Realisms and Impressionisms both emerged in the second half of the 19th century. They focused on everyday life as a subject matter, although Impressionisms became increasingly concerned with ideas of visual perception. And other late 19th century developments will include post-impressionism and pre-Raphaelitis. Modernism is also a period. Modernism is like a drawing style that we need to study, and it's emerged in the early 20th century. And so yeah. Important modernist movements include Cubism, Expressionism, Dada, Surrealisms, and Abstract Expressionisms. Those are mentioned in the PowerPoint, and those are the important things to learn as well. The Armani show in New York marks a shift in artwork, such as the United States become a new center of progressive artistic activity. This we just need to have like a general understanding of it. Pop art, minimalism, photorealisms respond to the post-World War II industrial culture. Installation, performance, environmental art, also known as island art and earthwork, all sought to challenge conventional ideas of art and its limitations. And this part will be mentioned in the second half presentation of part 1, and you can check that out in the second half photo, which is called the elements of art. And so, moving on. In the past, areas of non-Western art were not incorporated in the chronological study of Western art. Distinct regions of the world has often been studied separately. But today, though, many artist historians are challenging this based on the realization of the art throughout the world and interconnected, especially in terms of contemporary art. Art historians sometimes rely on different methods to understand non-Western art. So again, just general idea, and do not have to remember any details of it. And China, India, Japan, I believe that is the last section of the first half of part 1. As we mentioned before, are among the major cultures of Asia. So just need to have a basic understanding of the history behind those 3 countries and their artworks. All 3 countries have Asian traditions and have produced art that relates to political power and religious practices. So that's the main focus. Are related to their political powers, religious practices. Ancient traditions can also be found in Africa. So, often the arts of Africa and Oceania were created for very different functions from art in the Western traditions, and consequently there are tremendous formal differences as well. So, you really want to know that formal differences between the Western traditions and Oceanic art or African art. Alright. So, Islam is a major world religion that has produced much art. Islam produced a lot of religious art. Most Islamic art is non-figurative. 11. Non-figurative. Ancient civilization existed in Americans as well. And archaeology is often used to learn about these civilizations and their art. In addition to understanding context, art historians seek to describe the formal qualities of artworks. Important terms used to discuss the formal qualities of artworks include those which we'll discuss in our later presentation. Also, you can also check them out in the Elements of Art folder. And those you can check them out as well, and then we will discuss those in details in the later presentations. And that's all for the summary for section 1. Thank you everyone. Gracias.